done screaming at HD. I'll forgive you if you let me spend the rest of the day with my friends.